D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? Batwoman here. Yeah, we got another episode of this crappy show. So I busted this bad boy out. I forgot my daughter went as Ariel, her costume. And I was like, oh, I got a Batman mask. Let's rock this sucker out. So I might do every episode in this getup because I think I do it better than this freaking show. This episode 6, was god awful. We're gonna get into it as we break this down, but I don't know how long I can keep this on. Before I get started, though, on this review and breakdown, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine usually get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So this, like I said, this episode, what a snooze fest. I'm telling you what, the writer's room cannot write to save their lives. I'm telling you what, if this show gets picked up for a season 4, it's out of spite because like, for instance, the week episode number 4, which was the worst one, you guys tuned in for, and then for the last episode you guys bailed out. So I'm just gonna say, like, the reason you bailed out was because the episode before it was so god awful. And it was the worst episode. This episode was bad too. Oh my goodness, I can't handle how bad this show is. It's so stupid, and like, the writing is bad, the acting is bad. I mean, they're not even doing like great visual effects. I'm like, where's all the money going for this show? Sorry, I needed a little libation for this. Gosh, I look pretty cute though. Anyways, all right. So why don't we stop talking about how good I look as Batwoman and get into this breakdown? Okay, so it starts off with a bunch of girls playing basketball, and this girl over here in the red shorts, she shoots and misses by a mile. Oh my goodness. I don't even play the sports, and I could have done better than that. I'll tell you right now. At least I hit the backboard. So she goes to get the ball, and she notices this stuff coming out of this shed. Now, any rational, normal human being be like, oh, okay, whatever, and just walk away. Not this girl. She's like, gotta figure out what's going on over here. So she goes in, and she notices this dude is encased in honeycomb. And he wakes up and he's all like, help me, and everything. And I love it. But when he wakes up first, she's like, oh, hell no, and everything. And I'm all like, what? So he's like, help me, and everything. So then Renee Montoya walks up, and she's like, you're standing on evidence and everything, which she doesn't collect at all. She doesn't collect the evidence that this guy is standing on. And and she walks up. She doesn't even show a badge. She's just like, this is now City Hall's case. And it's like, why don't you tell us who you are, hooker face? Because if you don't, we're not gonna let you in. But this guy's all like, Renee Montoya taking over all the cases, which then she uses that line, but against Sophie later on. So then she's all like, we're about to have a problem, kind of thing. That guy's alive, by the way. So she gets out her knife because she's bad ace. She cuts out his cell phone, and she's like, this city's about to have a problem. I have to say, though, I do like this actress that plays Renee Montoya. She does a good job. I liked her on Gotham, too. She did a good job on Gotham. They got rid of her character too quick on Gotham. Anyways, because she played the same character. Anyways, sorry, this thing is like pushing on the bridge of my nose, so it sounds like I'm all sicky. Anyways, so she's sitting here, and she's like, you guys need to find this Poision Ivy person, the host, because this is going to be bad. And she's all like, I want to go and I want to see Mary. And she's like, why do you want to go see Mary? And she's all like, it's either that or you can sit. I'll go back with you in the Batcave and everything. Oh, and okay, Javicia Leslie is going to take the phone to the Batcave and encrypt it, take out the encryption so she can get into his phone to see who he's texting. And she's going to go talk to Mary because she knows that Mary is Poison Ivy. So she goes back to the Batcave, and Sophie's there. Which, why is Sophie here? That's the question. Besides to be annoying and to fall in love with Batwoman. That's what's going to happen. They're going to end up together at the end of this season. They're going to be lovers and everything. So she's all like, somebody spilled water on my computer. Alice spilled water on my laptop, and this place has eyes all over the city. I'm trying to find this dude that froze my sister and want some wontons. And she's like, did you talk? I take it your mother didn't it looks even better. What does it look like in a ponytail? It doesn't look as good. Anyways, so she's like, your mother, how'd the talk go with your mom? And she's like, my mom didn't have anything to do with it. Sorry, this thing is like, seriously, we're just gonna, okay. She's like, my mother didn't have anything to do with it. And she's like, I have to take this off. I'm sorry, you guys. I just have to. I have to take this off. Okay, there we go. Oh, I look it's so red. Look how red that is. Anyways, sorry. This is a distraction. We're just going to take this off. We're just going to take this whole thing off because it's a distraction. Oh, got caught on my earring. It's a distraction. Sorry. Okay. We need to pay attention to this fabulous show. So she's all like, how can you trust your mother? And she's like, trust me, she doesn't have anything to do with it. And she's like, I can't trust you. I'm your friend. I thought you would be there for me. And she's like, I will tell you when I can, which she can tell her right now. If anything we've learned from TV shows and movies, don't keep secrets because there's hair stuck on my earring. Don't keep secrets from your teammates because it just ends up biting you in the ass later on. Anybody with a brain can tell you that. And this show is just stupid. So she leaves. Alice is like licking the dude's bee sores and everything. And she's like, what's with all the plants? And she's all like, yada, yada. And she's all like, you're Poison Ivy. And she's like, no, I'm not. She's like, yes, you are. And she's like, this guy, then she takes off his thing and he's all like, God, get away from me. And she's all like, I'm here to help you. And he's like, you did this to me. And she's all like, I was right. So then she goes back to the Batcave, and she's all, which by the way, she's Poison Ivy. But if you notice, they did her hair like Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin, Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy. I didn't really like that rendition of it, but I do like Uma Thurman. Anyways, so she's like, I have something to tell you guys. I'm Poison Ivy, and she tried to tell them before, but they're such crappy friends that they just ignored her because they're selfish individuals and they don't care about anybody but themselves, especially Batwoman. And they're like, you are Poison Ivy and everything. And they're like, yeah. So then they go through the thing and they find out that that guy was the last person that he texted was her. And so she handcuffs herself to this computer, this giant, 80s computer. Or not even 80s, like 50s computer. So when Renee Montoya is back at her office at 2 a.m. in the morning, and Sophie comes by and she's like, I'm always in my office at 2 in the morning drinking and everything. She's like, this is an office. It looks more like a basement and everything. So she's all like, I need your help. I'm calling in a favor. And she's like, what do you need? And she's all like, I need you to help me find this guy. He's a part of the Black Hand. She's like, no, you don't want to get involved with the Black Hand because everybody that goes looking for the Black Hand ends up dying. If your sister survived, consider herself lucky. So then back at Batcave, they go on they go on Tinder. And they're like, do you know this guy, Chris? And she's like, no, and everything. And, they're like, are your eyes green in your profile pic? Which I just want to say, how does he not know who she is kind of thing? Because she had like 1 million followers season 1. She was like a huge, influencer. But this show has completely that's the thing. This show is so inconsistent that they just toss out stuff that happened before. And people like myself, who's watched it from the beginning, they forget this stupid stuff. And I'm all like, oh, you guys are so stupid over there. The writer's room, they're just a big ball of idiot. So then so they're looking up the text messages, and I love what he says. He says, hey girl, like this is how you know this is written by a woman. Men don't talk like this. He goes, hey girl, looking for some fun tonight? I'm off at 7. Want to meet up? Guys don't talk. We don't talk like that. We don't talk. First off, it would have just been like a hey, because it's obviously he's only interested in one thing, the gash. You know what I'm saying? the gash. And if we want it, we don't start out with "Hey girl." Like I'll tell you that right now. That's girl talk. That like I've never texted a prospect and been like, "Hey girl, you want to hang out tonight, have some fun?" No. Absolutely downtown. Word. All right. Let's grab some drinks. And then she says, or maybe a movie, or there is new, and I think it says Moonlight or something like that. Ooh, new Moonlight something place. Anyways, so they find out that she went to a hardware depot and she bought a flower pot, fertilizer, and a watering can, right? And then so they go out and they like track her last location. They drive out in this crappy Batmobile. And they get out, which by the way, Batwoman has in the last like 3 episodes has barely worn her Batwoman outfit. Like in the last 2 episodes, she wore it like for like 1 or 2 scenes, tops. So these two are sitting here talking. He's like, why didn't you tell me about Mary? And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. So they find the bag of fertilizer, the one bag of fertilizer that she buys. She buys 1 bag of fertilizer. Why? We have no idea, because she's poison ivy and fertilizer, plants. So then they kick over the pot and they find this dude who is the guy Sophie's tracking down, and they take him in. So then she's sitting there and they're like, we have him locked up in the sewers because, why not? And so they're sitting here and I love her face there because that sums up the entire episode, that face. And I can't remember what they talk about. It doesn't even matter. I can't remember. I can't remember what they talk about here. I don't remember. That's how boring it is. It was so boring. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was the whole time I was like looking up other stuff. Like I was like, what time does Star Trek Discovery drop so I can watch that and shit on that show too. But so then Renee Montoya shows up and she's like, you have the guy. I need to talk to him. I need him more than. And she's like, oh, trust me, when we're done, you can have him. And then she tells him like, oh, her and Poison Ivy used to be lovers. And then she was, and that's another thing. Poison Ivy is going to be a sympathetic bad guy, which I'm getting so sick and tired of that. Every woman on this show that's bad, we're supposed to sympathize with them because they've had some sort of trauma and everything. But then they paint every guy in here. He's either a total douche or he's a total pussy. And it's annoying because and so she's like, we'll let you have him when I'm done questioning him. And then so they go in here and she's like, that's so crazy that Poison Ivy was her lover and she had to call Batman to help her take her down. So then she goes in here. There's a tree, by the way, in the Batcave. I don't know why Poison Ivy doesn't use that to take this whole thing down. She's all like, well, Sophie, I told Sophie about the dude in the sewer. She's like, you did what? Oopsie. Oh, she's drinking water. She's like, water. She's trying to find her trigger and everything. We find out later it's sunlight. So then in the sewer, because why not? This show. Didn't they have a prison? Like they had like a thing to put bad guys in the Batcave? I thought they did in season 1. Ooh, I should have looked that up before. I didn't even think about that. I think they did. They did have like a little jail cell. All right. Anyway, so they got this dude strung up, and Sophie's all like, "Tell me who you work for." And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you," and everything. And she pulls out the blowtorch, and then all of a sudden he sings like a bird. And he tells him, he's like, she's like, you work for Joan Jett or Monica Jett or whatever the hell that lady's name is. And he's like, kind of. I work for the rich people of Gotham because their kids are mental. So we're trying to fix why they're crazy. So she burns his face with a blowtorch. Like, because why not? And she's like, you tried to kill my sister and you killed 3 of her friends and everything. And so she pulls Sophie aside and she's like, what are you doing? And she's like, you didn't tell me you had this guy, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden you hear and they go in there and he's wrapped the chain around his neck and like broke his neck or something. She's like, he's dead. And they just walk away and I'm all like, way to be sure. And so we go back to the Batcave. And Alice is saying a bunch of stuff to try to trigger her to wake up or whatever, because, oh, I remember what they said before. Okay, so Poison Ivy, the Ivy gets in tune with her biological whatever or whatnot, and she's all about justice. And the guy was wrapped in honey because he said she was sweet, because he was DTF and she wanted to, get to know you kind of thing with her come fuck me look on that app. And he was just looking to take her to Pound Town and she was not interested. So he's like, listen, I'm not interested in you if you're not interested in, getting the hot beef injection. And she's all like, I'm not interested in that. And he's like, all right, well, you're sweet, but no thanks and everything. And so then she had to get justice. You call me sweet, I'm gonna wrap you up in honeycomb. That's funny. The guy, he hurt her friend Sophie's sister, so she had to get justice and everything. So moving on, she's trying to trigger her there. And she's all like, as soon as she finds out she's gonna put Mary in Arkham, he's like, Batwoman wouldn't do that to her friend. So then Mary knocks him out because he's a total pussy boy. And one hit with the keyboard and he's out for like days. And she's all like cracking her neck, like, and then her eyes go green. And she's like, how did you know sunlight was my trigger? And she's all like, I'm a supervillain, so supervillains stick together and we know what to do. She's like, why are you helping me? And she's like, to acquire favors, which I'm going to call in, but I'm going to tell you right now, tread lightly kind of thing. She's like, because Renee Montoya is looking for you. And she's like, oh, and she's like, I heard that you call this line if you have a Poison Ivy sighting. And she's like, where are you? She's like, the Gotham Botanical Gardens. And that's the Botanical Gardens, that little dome. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. So she goes in and she's all like, hey girl. And she whips her out of the way, just like throws her. And then I don't know. So he wakes up, Batwoman shows up and he's like, they're gone. And so back at the thing, oh, Renee Montoya is talking to her. She's like, you did this to Poison Ivy because you called Batman and he stuck her in a place where she can't get sunlight or water. And I feel her and her skin is grinding together because somebody said something about no moisturizer. I'm angry. And then that's when she whips her with the wands and everything. And they find out that she's at the Botanical Gardens. He suits up and he's all like, my dad's just going to have to come with me. And that's another part. Okay, so they get to the Botanical Gardens. They find 2 yellow roses, and she's like, yellow roses are a symbol of friendship. It's like, okay. That's how you know a woman wrote this shit. Because guys don't know that shit. Yellow is the color. Yellow roses are a sign for friendship. Guys don't know that shit. And 2, all right, so then this whips these 2 around, and they get up, and he's like, "Oh, my arm, it's hurt. I'm pussy boy. Papa, are you there? Are you there? Are you there, Daddy? Please save me, Daddy." And she's all like, "Your daddy can't save you now. Daddy can't save you, pussy boy." It's so good. And wraps him up and he's like, Dad, where are you? Papa, save me. Papa, don't preach, all right? She's like, I took out your AI. I might need it later. And she took the AI out of the thing and put it in her pocket. And then Batwoman's all like, this isn't you. She's like, oh, it is me. I tried to tell you guys, and you guys weren't my friend. He's like, I'm sorry, we were bad friends. She's like, oh, now it's time to, you've been wrapped up in your, oh, that's a good picture, right? That's so good. Cause she's like, Mary, don't. But she's like, now maybe you can be wrapped up in my drama. So Renee comes, she's like, don't move, and hits her with the axe. But I can see Batwoman right here. What's going on here? She hit it like it was a tree. So then she's like, you called the cops? And you're like, yeah, you called the cops, you dummy. So then back in the Batcaves, he's like, I got a something about his rotator cuff is broken or split or cracked or whatever. And she's all like, we need to find a way to create a serum to get rid of the poison ivy stuff inside of Mary. And he's like, well, our only science doctory person that can do that. I don't see how Mary can do that, but whatever. She did figure out the thing with the plants like 2 episodes ago, where she just took sage and thyme and rubbed it into Sophie's sister's skin and cured her of frostbite. So she's like, we're just gonna have to get some help. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, she's gonna call her mom, Jada Jet. So then Sophie's drinking during the day, my kind of girl. And Renee Montoya, she comes by and she's like, I'll have one too. Also my kind of girl. And so they're just, I don't remember what they say here, but they end up going back and scissoring. They're tribbing together, which my kind of girls, you know what I'm saying? And I thought this was going to turn into an Axel Brahm parody right now, and we were going to get a good episode. But nope, they cut the scene right after that. I was like, oh, we couldn't even get like maybe take your shirt off a little bit or something, Axel Brahm that shit. But no Axel Brahm. Anyways, so then back at Wayne Enterprise, she's like, hey, Jada, I'm going to need your help. And then back in the woods, I don't know what they were doing in the woods here. But Alice is all like, I got it as an electric car. It was hard to hotwire this thing. Can you hotwire an electric car? I don't know. And she's all like, I don't remember what she says here, but she's like, all right, let's go. And then they drive away. And that's the end of the episode. That's good. And like I said, this episode was so boring, ridiculously boring. I don't understand how anybody can like this show. And apparently people don't, because listen, like I said, the views for last week weren't even 400,000. So people aren't showing up anymore. And it used to say on Wikipedia how many episodes this season was, because I thought it was 12 episodes, but they might be adding more on, which I don't understand why. I mean, the CW, you guys need to get it together. Just create a new show. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this show. It sucks. And I know you're all like, if you don't like it, why do you keep watching it? How can I not watch this show? It is the funniest show on TV right now. Like, no joke. It's the funniest show. I laugh every time. This one, I didn't laugh because it wasn't funny. It was boring. But normally all I do is I just laugh my face off. Like, it's so funny. And it's just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous show. And I, like I said before, they had a good concept with getting all the Batman villains tech and creating the 2.0 version of that, like a Mr. Freeze 2.0 or a Croc Ock 2.0 or Killer Croc 2.0 or Mad Hatter 2.0. It's just the execution is shit. It's shit because the writers of the show don't know how to write. I'm sorry. I don't know where you went to school at, but it's a crap. You need to get your money back and give them back your degree, because you're not good at this. You're just not good at this. And you know what? I thought maybe they would turn it around, because I was like, you know what? Maybe they will turn it around, because they season 1 was not that good, but then what's her face got fired. And I was like, all right, fine. They had season 2 sucked because they had to deal with COVID. They had to deal with a new lead. So they had to create a completely new story, but they couldn't just, they had to explain away Kate Kane, yada, yada, yada. And I get that. But then I was like, Season 3, maybe season 3 will be good. They've got a good concept here. Nope, it's not good. This episode sucked. This episode, the last episode, and the episode before that, 4, 5, and 6, they're all boring and bad. It's just bad. All right. Well, that's my breakdown and review of this season episode of Batwoman. I don't know. If you like the show, tell me why. I'd love to know why. I don't get it, but whatever. All right. You guys, go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go hit that like button. You know, I won't mind if you my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat place. You guys have a good week. Bye.